In the next 30 seconds, I'm done.
Dr. Barrel got here in 2018.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, like halfway through.
Oh, sorry.
Take seats.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Bob?
Congratulations.
Ups and downs.
You've done overseas before, right?
Yeah, that makes this way easier.
Yeah, excited about it.
It's above my head. It's them taking selfies.
The family's first two rows?
Where's
the CO?
CO.
CEO's on the seat? On the right side, left side?
She's going to be piped in.
Yeah, but where's she going to be sitting?
Third.
Third, on the right.
Say hi. Live stream.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, family and friends. On behalf of the Bear family, welcome to the retirement ceremony marking 26 years of honorable and faithful active duty naval service for Commander Jonathan Bear. I am Captain Richard Montgomery, your Master of Ceremony. We ask that all guests please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the national anthem and the invocation by Father John Bosco Masanguzzi. For military guests in attendance, please be covered. Bosun, post the side boys. Sound 4 bells. Commander, United States Navy, arriving. Sound 4 bells. Captain, United States Navy, arriving. Sound 4 bells. Commanding Officer, Navy Medicine, Readiness and Training Command, United States Navy, arriving. Parade the colors. Color guard, retire the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, Father John Bosco will now offer the invocation.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, at this moment, in this great occasion, we have gathered to celebrate 26 years of excellent, active military service of Commander Jonathan Beer. We give you thanks as we rejoice and recount the great achievements this gentleman, Commander Jonathan Beer, as the U.S. Navy officer whose life has impacted many along the line of duty. Today, as we gather to honor him and his wife, MIDWAY Beer, their two sons, Andrew and Connor, we thank you, God Almighty, for being with him all through his military career. Obviously, a difficult journey that took him through the high and lows of various challenging military assignments. As we bid him farewell today, we pray that you continue to lead him in the path of good health and success in his future endeavors. We make our prayer to you, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Father John Bosco. Side boys, post. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Military guests, please uncover. We are gathered this morning to witness the final benchmark in a very successful 26-year military career, and to share our gratitude for this dedicated and faithful shipmate. Just as today symbolizes the end of one phase in Commander Bear's life, it also represents the beginning of another. Today gives us the opportunity to offer our prayers and blessing towards a very successful future as he and his family look forward to a life filled with new challenges and rewards. I extend a special, warm welcome to Commander Bear's parents, Steve and Karen Bear, and the rest of the family. We are pleased to have you all here with us today, as well as the many family and friends who have traveled from afar to San Diego, California for this special day. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Commanding Officer of the Navy Medicine Readiness and Training Command, Captain Adriano, Medical Corps, United States Navy.
I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can actually see me. I feel like a Lilliputian. Can I take it off? How to be smarter than the microphone. So I'm going to stand over here. First of all, what a fabulous day to be out here celebrating 26 years of service to our nation and our Navy. Commander Bear, thank you. Before we get started, I know you've had a lot of activities. You've done so many different things. I'm going to just kind of gloss over them a little bit because I know you're probably going to talk a lot more about your career than I am. So I don't know Commander Bear nearly as well as most of you in this audience do. I just met him last year when I came on board as CEO of Balboa. And as a CEO, you get an opportunity to do some really cool, fun stuff that you otherwise wouldn't have an opportunity to do. So I'd been on board maybe just a few weeks, and I get a call from his boss saying, hey, we have a dolphin that's going into the CT scanner. Do you want to come down? What a crazy question. Of course I wanted to come down. So I was able to go down, and where they do this CT scan is actually down in the radiation oncology spaces. And so I was down there having a good time, meeting all the folks that bring the dolphins in from our Navy marine mammal experience. And our radiation oncologist came down to introduce themselves to me because I was brand new on board. And so that was my first introduction to Commander Bear. Super nice. And as I kind of got to know Commander Bear, which I don't have the opportunity to do with a lot of our providers on staff because we have almost 6,000 people on staff. So it's impossible for me to get to know everybody. But I got to know Commander Bear pretty well over the last 6 months or so, because for those of you who do know him, and what I've learned about him is he is a tenacious, very motivated, very passionate individual about whatever he sets his mind to. And what he was setting his mind to when I first met him was saving our radiation oncology department. And I can't thank you enough for your, again, your tenacity and making sure that I understood the problem. And if I had already known that about you beforehand, we probably could have gotten through things a little quicker. So it was pretty awesome, actually, the whole process. I was so impressed to read your bio. 1,800 hours in the cockpit, 350 or more carrier landings. And then when you got tired of doing all that fun, exciting stuff, you decided to hang that up and go to medical school. How amazing. But we're so lucky that you decided to do that. And again, thank you for your service. Thank you for stepping up. Thanks for leaving Balboa a better place than you found it, engaging in research and making sure that the department would be able to go on and take care of all of our cancer patients. Thank you very much. And I practiced something, so please be with me. Sobarashi, Kyaro, Medeto gozaimasu. And Mitzi, don't tell me if I totally jacked that up. For those of you who don't speak Japanese, and I do not speak Japanese, what that means is congratulations on your amazing career.
Thank you, Captain Adriano. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce our presiding officer and guest speaker, Captain Benjamin Drinkwine, Medical Corps, United States Navy. You can read more about Captain Drinkwine's illustrious career in today's program. Please help me give a warm welcome to Captain Drinkwine.
Can everybody hear me okay? Good afternoon and welcome, honored guests, family, friends, and shipmates. It is my privilege to speak with you today as we celebrate the distinguished naval career of Commander John Yogi Baer. I would like to acknowledge and thank some of John's family joining us today who have had a profound impact on his life and career. John's wife of 20 years, Mitzi Baer, whom he describes as his bedrock, helping him to weather not only the storms of life as a naval aviator, including several wartime deployments, but also the rigors of a life committed to the healing arts. John's sons, Andrew and Connor, who are an endless source of joy and inspiration for him. John's sister Katie and brother Adam for their sage counsel and valued memories. His mother Karen and father Steve. In addition to their endless love and support, Steve, an oral surgeon, was an influential figure in John's life. Whether it be John's prophetic statement made on the fantail of the USS Kitty Hawk while in the middle of the Persian Gulf that he was supposed to be in dental school right now, or the mid-career decision to pivot to a life in medicine, John was destined to ultimately follow in his father's footsteps. As we take a few minutes to reflect on John's 26 years of active duty naval service, I would like to begin with a quotation from a timeless speech delivered by President Theodore Roosevelt entitled "Citizenship in a Republic." Commonly known as the man in the arena, this will likely be familiar to those of you who have studied reef points at the U.S. Naval Academy. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. When reviewing John's naval career, it's clear that he committed himself to be the man in the arena, both literally and figuratively, from his time as a boxer at the Naval Academy to his battles against external enemies from the seat of his Hornet over the skies of Baghdad, to his campaign against internal foes, the afflictions of the body. John's career highlights the importance of taking action, facilitated by dedication and hard work, the support of loved ones, and perhaps a bit of luck. taking action drives progress, overcomes obstacles, and ultimately turns distant dreams into tangible accomplishments. I now ask for your indulgence if I go a bit over time as I recap John's long and decorated naval career, which spanned multiple disciplines and arenas. You see, John's a bit of a Renaissance man, an athlete, mathematician, fighter pilot, and physician. I'm told about the only thing John can't do is cook. Yeah. Following his graduation from the Naval Academy with a degree in mathematics, John embarked on his first career in the Naval Navy, earning his wings of gold on December 15th, 2000. He was assigned to Strike Fighter Squadron 195 in Atsugi, Japan, and was deployed aboard the USS Kitty Hawk to the 5th Fleet Area of Operations from February to May of 2003. Many of you may recall this period in our nation's history, including the 26 days of major combat operations and the Battle of Baghdad, as the beginning of the Iraq War. During this time, John flew 19 combat missions in direct support of coalition ground forces, earning him 2 air medals, including one with Combat V distinction for heroic achievement. Mitzi recounts this period during the war as a particularly challenging time for them, when they were separated not only by distance, but also by a chasm-like information void, which was spanned only by daily updates from CNN. In 2004, recognized for his excellence as an aviator, John was selected as an instructor pilot for VFA 106 Fleet Replacement Squadron in Oceana, Virginia. While this position was professionally rewarding, Mitzi points out that Oceana wasn't quite as nice as San Diego, which was apparently also an option at the time. As his position with VFA 106 segued into his next aviator career milestone as the landing signal officer with Carrier Air Wing 7 and another sea deployment aboard the USS Eisenhower, John began contemplating a career change. After considering several options that might rival the challenge and fulfillment of naval aviation and align with his commitment to family, the birth of his first son must have also brought with it inspiration. For when Andrew was only 1 day old, John decided he would pursue a career in medicine, and taking action was enrolled in night school to complete his prerequisite coursework only 3 weeks later. Much to the benefit of Navy medicine and the patients for whom we care, John demonstrated academic talent on par with his skill as an aviator. He persevered through 4 rigorous years at the Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences to graduate with a Doctor of Medicine in 2012, and then completed his transitional internship year at the Naval Medical Center San Diego, where he continued to demonstrate his aptitude for leadership as the vice president of the intern class. Subsequently, following his 3rd Persian Gulf deployment as the senior medical officer aboard the USS Harper's Ferry, John was selected to begin his residency in radiation oncology at the National Capital Consortium National Cancer Institute, after serving only a single year as a general medical officer. Some of you may know how unusual this is to foreshorten a GMO tour for residency training, and it speaks to John's exemplary record of performance. Following 4 years of residency in radiation oncology, during which he served as chief resident in his final year, John returned to Naval Medical Center San Diego as a staff physician in 2018. During his time at NMCSD, John has distinguished himself as both a clinician and a leader, with many notable achievements in both arenas. As the hospital's only prostate brachytherapist, he maintained a program that provided critical treatment options for high-risk prostate cancer patients. He advanced medical research as the principal investigator of 3 national oncology trials. And as a recognized expert in his field, he was conferred assistant professorship at the Uniformed Services University and selected as a board examiner for the American Board of Radiology. John additionally served in several impactful positions during his tenure at NMCSD, including head of radiation oncology specialty leader for Navy medicine, and vice chairman of the Department of Radiology. In these roles, John was a highly effective leader whose thoughtful and decisive leadership style was complemented by his strength of character and dedication to his team. In preparation for today, I had the pleasure of speaking with a number of John's family, friends, and colleagues. And I heard stories of an exemplary naval officer, a dedicated family man, and a treasured friend. As my words are insufficient to convey his impact, I would like to share a few of their comments. He is a natural leader who is generous with his time and experience. He's a mentor, a superhero figure. His patients love him. They are very loyal to him and are sad to see him retire. He is a cancer killer who inspires confidence and hope. John was a great pilot and a great teacher. Considerate and caring, one of the most amazing human beings on the planet. Perhaps the most poignant evidence of John's impact on others is that his sons indicated they would like to follow in his footsteps. Connor will be applying to the Naval Academy and hopes to become a doctor, while Andrew is currently attending SDSU through the Air Force ROTC program and emphatically states that he's going to be a pilot. So, as John retires, I encourage him to step out of the arena for just a moment to savor the triumph of high achievement. As he reflects on missions past and looks forward to new adventures, I will conclude with a quotation that I hope the recovering aviator within him will appreciate. Fellow Renaissance man Leonardo da Vinci was one of the first to dream of flight, not as an abstract concept, but as an achievable feat by man. As he produced some of the first known drawings that illustrated the theories of flight, he stated, "Once you have tasted flight, you will forever walk with your eyes turned skyward, for there you have been, and there you will always long to return." John is truly one who has walked the earth with his eyes turned skyward, and he has achieved great heights. John, thank you for your 26 years of dedicated, active duty naval service. I wish you fair winds, following seas, and cavern skies. Congratulations on your time.
Thank you, Captain Drinkwine, for those inspiring words. Captain Drinkwine, please join Commander Bear at center stage. Commander Bear will now be presented with a letter of appreciation from the President of the United States. Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. Commander Bear, I extend my personal gratitude and a sincere appreciation of a grateful nation to you for your patriotic service to our country. Your bravery and dedication in our armed forces helped protect your fellow Americans during a critical moment in our history and contributed to a world of greater security and growing prosperity. Your devotion to duty, honor, and country, in keeping with the long traditions of the finest military in the world, embodied the American ideals of selfless service. Our nation owes you an incredible debt. Your commitment and the example you set will inspire future generations to serve with pride and to keep our country secure. You represent the best of our nation, and I join our fellow Americans in saluting your honorable service. I wish you happiness and success in your next chapter. Signed, Joseph R. Biden, Jr., Commander-in-Chief. Thank you, Captain Drinkwine and Commander Bear. You may be seated. According to some accounts of naval history and tradition, when a sailor retires and is departing the ship for the last time, it's considered bad luck for the sailor's shadow to touch land before he does. Thus, the sailor's shipmates would construct a sturdy box, handcrafted of the finest materials, in which to display mementos of the sailor's accomplishments, thereby symbolically creating a shadow of the sailor. The box safely contains the sailor's shadow until he is safely ashore, at which time the shadow box can be given to the sailor in a presentation ceremony. Historically, when a sailor would join a ship's crew, he would join that ship for his entire career. During the sailor's voyages to ports of call around the world, he would collect many trinkets, souvenirs, and reminders of his travels. Naturally, as space aboard ship was at a premium, these items tended to be small. When the sailor piped ashore for the last time, His shipmates saw to it that a special ceremonial box was constructed for him. The box would hold all the possessions that had been collected during those many voyages and would simultaneously symbolize the sailor's career and time aboard ship. Ideally, a shadow box serves not only as a reminder of achievements and accomplishments, but also as a summation, a culmination of a career. A shadow box should enable a stranger, glancing at its contents, to gain a substantial understanding of the owner's past service and achievements. Commander Loki and Commander Story will now present Commander Bear with his shadow box. Commander Bear, please join Commander Loki and Commander Story at center stage.
On behalf of the Radiology Department and Naval Medical San Diego, we present to you your shadow box.
Thank you, Commander Loki and Commander Story. Captain Drinkwine, please join Commander Bear once again at center stage. It is a time-honored tradition that the family of a Navy member be honored. The support of one's family provides the foundation for a service member's successful career. In keeping with this time-honored tradition, ushers, please escort Commander Bear's wife and sons to center stage. Commander Bear will be presenting his wife Mitzi, sons Andrew and Connor, certificates of appreciation in recognition of their unwavering love and support during his 26 years of service. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. By the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for enduring the frequent and long separations from Commander Jonathan Bear as he served his country. These months, indeed years, that he spent away from you constitute a clear and noble demonstration of his love for you and his family. You see, he left you in order to ensure that you inherited a safer world, a surer peace. To those who say a single man cannot make a difference, I say wrong. He did. He made our Navy stronger and kept our nation safe. With his service to the Navy now complete, he will be able to spend more time with you in the future. The United States Navy thanks you and your husband for enduring these separations. Given this 31st day of May, 2024, signed E.M. Adriano, Commanding Officer, NMRTC, San Diego, United States Navy. flag passing ceremony you're about to witness is meant as a tribute to the loyalty and patriotism demonstrated by Commander Bear. The members of the flag detail are symbolic of the ranks Commander Bear held during his 26 years of service. As Old Glory is read and the flag is passed from sailor to sailor until it reaches Commander Bear, we ask that you reflect upon where you may have been while he and many others like him were forward deployed on the deck plates, mentoring and developing junior officers, sailors, and Marines while proudly serving this fine country we all call home. Flag passing detail, post. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident, I am arrogant, I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is held a little higher, my colors are a little truer. I bow to no one. I am revered, I am loved, I am feared. For more than 200 years, I have fought in every battle of every war. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, the cane fields of the Philippines, the jungles of Guam, Okinawa, Tarawa, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and in the heat of the Persian Gulf and a score of other places long forgotten by all but those who were there with me, I was there. I led my sailors and Marines, I followed them. I watched over them, they loved me. I was on a small hill on Iwo Jima. I was dirty, battle-torn, and tired, but my sailors and Marines cheered me. I was proud. I have been soiled, burned, torn and trampled on the streets of my own country, and when it is done by those whom I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the surly bonds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the new frontiers of space. I have been a silent witness to all of America's finest hours. I have flown over the top of the World Trade Center, and after September 11th, 2001, I have flown over its rubble to remind the evil in our world that my spirit will not be crushed, my spirit will not be broken. But my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips, to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly half-mast to honor my soldiers, sailors, and Marines. When I lie in the trembling arms of a grieving mother, at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wave. Dear God, long may I wave. Flag passing detail, post. Commander Bear, on behalf of all the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, including those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, we wish to present to you what is regarded as military members' most honored and cherished possession, the flag of the United States of America. The flag is representative of the great nation which you have so proudly served and honorably defended. It is the true emblem of our unity, our power, and our purpose as a nation. Please accept it, guard it, and let it remind you that many young men and women you have guided and inspired will follow in your footsteps and defend it with equal pride. Commander will now present the flag to his wife, Mitzi. This flag was flown at Naval Medical Center San Diego on May 31st, 2024, in recognition of 26 years of loyal and faithful service, and is presented on behalf of a grateful crew and nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I finally present to you Commander Jonathan Baer to deliver his final remarks as an active duty leader, sailor, and commander.
All right, thanks, Rich. I really appreciate it. Everybody can probably hear me. My voice tends to carry. But first off, I just want to start by saying, Captain Adriano, family, friends, shipmates, I sincerely thank you for being here today. Most of you traveled long distances at great expense to celebrate with us. I came to realize that this ceremony is our best chance to publicly thank our support structure, to attempt to explain how important you've all been to Mitzi, my boys, and me throughout my career. And that includes every single person in this audience. Each and every one of you have been part of our journey and have really made a deep impact for both myself and my family. So from the bottom of my heart, I really just want to say thank you, and thank you for being here today. I'd like to acknowledge some of the people on stage and those who made this retirement happen today. Captain Adriano, thank you for your remarks, your leadership and mentorship. It's apparent that you are fully committed to running the best military treatment facility in the entire Defense Health Agency. You've always been a strong supporter of our multidisciplinary oncology team. Not everybody knows this, but Captain Adriano actually started medical school as a Zoomie in the Air Force, but then saw the light and jumped ship to the Navy when she was swooped over by a fellow sailor. Captain Adriano is also a highly regarded obstetrician and gynecologist and has been a consistent advocate for women's health. We're fortunate to have you as our skipper, and I'll miss working with you. Captain Drinkwine, it was a pleasure to serve with you over the past 6 years. Ben's a really humble guy, but he truly is a rock star, and Navy medicine is lucky to have him. Not only is Ben a talented interventional radiologist who deployed to Afghanistan, he served as Director of Clinical Support Services at Naval Medical Center San Diego, in charge of the Pathology Department, Radiology Department, Pharmacy Department, and the Lab Department. This position is similar to an Air Wing commander in charge of multiple squadrons. He truly epitomizes the key attributes of a successful physician: able, affable, and available. Every single person who has ever collaborated with Ben would agree that his work ethic and attention to detail are second to none. I'm honored that you accepted my invitation to be my speaker today at this ceremony that means so much to my family and I. Father Bosco, you and I go way back. It really is great to have you here. We are so appreciative of that we have you in our command to care for our patients and staff. Thank you for supporting our cancer patients' spiritual needs at a time when they really needed it most. I always enjoyed running into you around the hospital with your warm and friendly personality, and thank you so much for everything. Rex Afan, retired Navy Senior Chief, none of this would have happened without you. One of the most selfless people I ever met. So thank you for everything. Thank you for coordinating this for us and truly making this ceremony special for all of us. To the color guards, side boys, and members of this ceremony, I appreciate you helping to make this event possible. I'm truly blessed that I had the privilege to serve in the Navy for 26 years, having two fulfilling careers while leading truly amazing sailors who collectively never once let me down and always rose to the occasion every single time. I had outstanding commanding officers that offered superb mentorship and guidance that made all of this possible. For this, I will always be grateful. With the benefit of reflection, I have mixed emotions today. Not so much because I'm hesitant to retire from the Navy after all these years, but rather because I will absolutely miss the people. And that's the 100% honest truth. I'll miss each and every single person I work with on a daily basis at Naval Medical Center San Diego and throughout my entire Navy career. It's a challenge for me. How do I put into words what it's meant to lead a team made up of sailors and Marines from all walks of life, from all 50 states, numerous countries around the world, men and women with different religious preferences and ethnic backgrounds that function as one cohesive unit? How does one put into words to describe what it's like to fly an engineering marvel from the flight deck of the most powerful warship ever imagined, being entrusted to deliver ordnance at times that were within a few meters of friendly forces? No, you were flying a machine that sailors and Marines have painstakingly maintained. Sailors and Marines will never get to experience the fruits of their labor firsthand. To serve with a highly trained team of corpsmen and nurses who are capable of delivering world-class care in the most austere environments under the most difficult of circumstances. To be perfectly candid, I've always felt a sense of conflict with my service. On the one hand, being a Navy pilot in position has been more fulfilling than I could have ever imagined in my wildest dreams. It's been an absolute privilege to fly the world's premier carrier-based strike fighter, representing my nation, my shipmates, the entire naval aviation and medicine enterprise, and each and every one of you. On the other hand, to reach the level of fulfillment I just described, I had to leave loved ones behind for months at a time to do my job. Missing celebrations like birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, and graduations. Missing the little things, like saying good morning, good night to loved ones, helping with sick kids, and household chores. Not being around to comfort those in their greatest times of need. Through it all, however, the Navy has given much more than it has taken. We've built lifelong friendships through shared experiences. Mitzi and I have literally traveled the world. I am certain I leave the Navy a better man than when I joined. My only hope is I leave the Navy as a better Navy than when I joined. So I completely realize I'm the only thing standing between everybody and the cake over there. But I just wanted to mention a few specific thank yous as I move forward. So starting from the top, Mitch, none of this happens without you. Your support allowed me to focus on the mission at hand, whether I was flying combat missions or taking care of cancer patients, knowing that all was well back home. You not only supported me, but countless others, from being a spouse club member to volunteering at the hospital. When we started dating in Japan in 2001, I'm pretty sure you had absolutely no idea what you were signing up for. You should have had an idea on our first date, which was my first time driving off base in Japan, when I got lost and it took 2 hours to get to the outback that was just in the next town. It was more challenging than I anticipated trying to read Japanese street signs, especially since I don't read Japanese. During the time we've known each other, including 20 years of marriage, and leaving your home country, you supported me through 8 deployments, 19 combat missions, night school while I fly twice during the day to take med school prereqs, starting medical school with 2 boys ages 3 and 9 months, internship, residency, and 6 years as staff radiation oncologist, which also involved working at numerous outside hospitals across 2 states. Along this crazy journey, we managed to make incredible friends, travel all over the Pacific to numerous amazing locations, and had a lot of fun along the way. Your resilience as a Navy spouse really is awe-inspiring. I love you, and this retirement is just as much about you as it is about me. Thank you for your inspiring friendship and for allowing me to be the best version of myself possible. Andrew and Connor, I'm so proud of the young men that you've become. You continue to inspire me with your courage, empathy, intelligence, and resilience. I've been told I'm brave or courageous because I flew airplanes off of aircraft carriers. Well, courage is moving 5 times, living in 3 states, and excelling at school while being great teammates in water polo, swimming, soccer for Andrew, and the Boy Scouts for Connor. It wasn't your choice to be in a Navy family. You were born into it. Yet you have embraced the Navy and have shown a level of patriotism much deeper than most and a maturity beyond your years. Never stop chasing after your dreams. There is no limit to what you can accomplish as long as you work hard and try to be a good person. I am so proud of the both of you. Andrew just completed his freshman year at San Diego State University in Air Force ROTC as an aspiring fighter pilot. Connor's completing his sophomore year at Cornell High School, and his goal is to become a physician. Dad and my stepmother Karen, the level of support to myself and your grandchildren has meant so much to Mitzi and me. This includes my decision to join the Navy and attend the Naval Academy. You've both been there every single step of the way. Ever since I was a young boy, I wanted to fly. Growing up in New York, my dad had his private license, and some of my fondest memories were flying with him around Long Island to Hartford, Connecticut, Block Island, and Washington, D.C. When I was 8 years old, I was too young to see over the flight console and had to sit on 2 foam pads that were the equivalent of telephone books. I went on to get my private pilot's license in high school and was then accepted to the Naval Academy. You were and continue to always be there as a sounding board, and I greatly value all your advice and wisdom. My brother Adam is here today, my sister Katie, both accomplished, with Adam working as a periodontist in New York and great father to my 2 young nieces, and Katie working as a librarian in New York, setting a great example for my own 2 boys. I'm very proud of both of you and only wish that you didn't live so far away. My original plebe year roommates are here today. Plebe year is it's similar to a freshman year at a normal college, as we say. Lauren, Mike, and Davey, I'm so glad you could make it. We all know you would have made it through plebe year without me. I may not have been a model plebe with my philosophy of selectively following the rules, but I'm so glad that you're here today to celebrate. Also here is Al Curtin, my Naval Academy roommate for 3 years, his wife Lisa, and son Trey. Al went on to serve 8 years in the Marine Corps, followed by a successful civilian career in business. Several other Naval Academy classmates are here today, including Ed Hoke, Cy Millay, not sure if Jeremy made it, but and Chris Castanon. So thank you guys, Naomi, and everybody for being here. After I graduated the Naval Academy in 1998, proceeded to Pensacola, Florida for aviation pre-flight indoctrination or ground school, followed by primary and advanced jet training in Kingsville, South Texas, earning my coveted wings of gold in December 2000. One of the nice things about today is that every single phase of my journey over the 26 years, every single command I was at, there's somebody here from each command. So I thought I'd just go over my story briefly and acknowledge everybody that's been part of my experience. I can honestly say, though, growing up in Queens, I had more culture shock in South Texas than I did living in Japan. And that's the honest truth. After getting my wings of gold, where I lived with Mike McPhail, who's in the audience here, I proceeded to Oceana Naval Air Station in February 2001 for initial F-18 training, where I thought I would stay long term. The idea of being stationed in Japan never crossed my mind. In order to get orders to Japan, where the operational tempo is high, you have to have good landing grades during initial carrier qualifications at the boat. We call the carrier the boat. After a bit of initial rough day landings, I was able to come back strong, and my night landings worked out okay, and I was on the cusp of qualifying to come to Japan, which I didn't know at the time. During my last night trapper landing, I was given the wrong call by the landing signal officer, who's stationed off to the side of the ship and helps us land our jets. Due to this erroneous call, the LSO, Captain Scott Gazer Miller, upgraded my landing, which nudged my grades up enough, just enough to get me qualified to go to Japan. If it weren't for this erroneous call, I would have stayed in Virginia Beach. Needless to say, Andrew and Connor literally owe their lives to Gazer, who made this bad call at the back of the ship. Gazer's a good friend of mine. He actually just turned over command of the Vincent, which is right behind me, and I'm sure he'll go on to be a flag and do great things. Exactly 20 days later, with all my limited belongings, I was shipped off to Japan at the age of 25. I met Mitzi 1 month after I got there. We dated for 3 years and had a traditional Japanese wedding. Everything was in Japanese with a Shinto priest and incense in the other corner. I have no idea what I said, but after a few cups of traditional sake, I had a Japanese wife. This tour was highlighted by being gone for 21 of the 36 months, either on deployment or detachment. This included 19 combat missions off the Kitty Hawk in the Persian Gulf, going after armor, artillery, command and infrastructure, and close air support, literally doing anything we could to support the guys and ladies who are on the ground fighting the bad guys. Unfortunately, we lost one of our own during a friendly fire incident when a Patriot missile shot down our very own Lieutenant Nate O.J. White. Nate was a great friend of mine. I learned so much, miss him to this day, and I'm glad to report that his family is doing well. Nate was called OJ because of a flight when he had a rough time during air-to-air refueling, where he repeatedly stabbed at the basket and could not get his refueling probe into the basket. Due to stabbing the basket dozens of times, hearing the call sign OJ. Our call signs back in the day were a little bit more crude, but OJ will remain forever in our hearts. Commander Dan Monlux is here today. He was also my sister squadron in Japan and also flew combat missions with me in Iraq. Following this, I received orders to VFA 106 as a flight instructor, teaching brand new pilots how to fly Super Hornets in Virginia Beach. Our first son Andrew was born on July 15, 2005. 1 month after this, I started night school at Tidewater Community College, flying during the day while taking organic chemistry at night and biology on Saturdays. After this busy tour, I applied to medical school, was accepted to medical school, and the Navy promptly said, absolutely no way, as I still had 16 months left on my aviation commitment. Fortunately, USIS deferred my medical school acceptance by 1 year. Everything in my career has worked out for a reason, including not being able to go to USIS when I wanted to. I had a great follow-on tour as the CAG 7 LSO, which is the best job in the Navy. Literally all I did was sit on the back of the ship and fly at least once a day, and it was amazing. Our second son, Connor, was born on October 26, 2007. And I also got to work with Captain Dale Gregory, both as a RAG instructor in VFA 106 and in CAG 7. Dale is one of my best friends. He just completed a successful tour on the USS Blue Ridge, and he was just selected to be the commanding officer of the USS Ronald Reagan. And I'm really proud of you, Dale. In July 2008, we moved to Bethesda, Maryland. I had to resign my commission as an 04 lieutenant commander, go back to Ensign 01 on the same day, and started medical school with a wife, 2 young boys, aged 3 years and 9 months, after being out of school for 10 years. Fortunately, I had great friends and made great friends that were there, including Bree, who's here today, Jamie, as well as Adam Horn. And one of the things I really enjoyed about USIS was the bonds that we made. And I thought it was unique, unlike any other medical school, that we really worked together and everybody just wanted everybody else to succeed. Med school was challenging, but with Mitzi's help, I found success and was able to match a competitive internship and specialty in 2012. I never thought I would want to be a cancer specialist. Originally, I considered orthopedic surgery or anesthesia. During my gynecology rotation, there was a prior F-14 backseater who told me he had a good buddy of his, John Mansuetti, who was a prior F-14 pilot, and that I should check out this great field called radiation oncology. It turns out that radiation oncology was the perfect fit for me. I loved the technical aspects as a math major, found the relationships we developed with our patients truly rewarding, and enjoyed being able to help our cancer patients, whether curing them or just making them more comfortable, not to mention the great lifestyle and comfortable compensation. After tenure in 2013, I proceeded to the Harper's Ferry as the ship dock with Master Chief Raimundo, who's here in the audience today. One of the best chiefs I ever worked with, and so glad that after, when I was there, he was a chief, promoted to senior chief, and then eventually retired as Master Chief. During this tour, I deployed again. I was gone for 9 of the 11 months. I was assigned to the ship, in charge of the health of 350 sailors. I grew as a physician and had a team of 9 great corpsmen, including Master Chief, and 1 outstanding dentist. I learned a lot with a doc with only 1 year of internship training, managing complex cases in the middle of the ocean with nowhere else to go, running IV antibiotics in our small ward with over 40 medevacs. But Master Chief, without you, I would never be able to do it, so thank you so much. After this, we moved back to the East Coast for radiation oncology residency at the combined Walter Reed NCI program with my good friend and co-resident Charlton Smith, who's pretty easy to see today. He's the only person here in an Army uniform in our combined program. And once again, Adam Horn was with me joining 1 year later. The NCI residency was truly what you made of it. If you were willing to work hard and put in the time and effort with different hospital systems, it could be the best training experience ever. After residency, I proceeded back to San Diego as a staff physician, became board certified in radiation oncology in 2019. I am most proud during this tour of my corpsmen, such as HM1 Falmignano, HM1 Masters, and HM2 Cornell, who are all here today. I'm also proud of the remarkable success we had with our prostate low-dose rate brachytherapy program, curing dozens of men with aggressive prostate cancer without any recurrences to date over a 6-year period, with the help of my good friend Larry Burns and Jia Lin, who are my physicists and put a lot of time and effort to each and every brachytherapy case. One of the things I enjoyed about NCSD was the opportunity to work in different hospital systems through the Navy Off-Duty Employment Program, working with a variety of unique populations at each site. My favorite was Kingman, to be honest, not exactly for the location, but for the people. I truly look forward to traveling in Arizona to meet with my Kingman crew, who definitely epitomizes saying work hard, play hard. They just know how to have fun. UCSD was also great, getting to work with Doctors Dominique Rash and Jyoti Mahadev, and collaborating with Ian McEwen and his wife Jennifer, who are both here today. My NMCSD oncology colleagues are sitting right over there. Dr. Tracy, Dr. Gastwerk, Dr. Gable, Dr. Norris, and Libby from our breast cancer clinic. Thanks for making this such a rewarding tour. You were the most absolute professional people to work with, and it truly was a privilege to spend time with you, and I will miss working with you. I'm so grateful to the wonderful neighbors and friends we've had in our Coronado community and who are here with us today. I'm looking forward to the next chapter and very excited to work at Palomar full-time with another outstanding group of individuals who may come into work just plain fun. I'm also glad that I can continue to collaborate with veterans and military retirees. I really value the relationship we've had with the VA with Dr. Mark Fuster, Dr. Bart Cosman, and Mai Boudreau, again, who are here today. And lastly, I want to specifically thank every single one of my enlisted sailors I've ever had the privilege of working with. Thank you to the F-18 maintenance petty officers who did all the dirty work and received none of the glory. The aircraft do not launch themselves. Nothing happens without their efforts. The same goes for Navy medicine, where our corpsmen are second to none, and that includes all our HMs out here in the audience, and serve in positions with so much responsibility for such a junior rank that there is no civilian equivalent, such as our independent duty corpsmen, who are often enlisted petty officers that are senior medical officers on cruisers and destroyers, displaying great courage and skill and always rising to the occasion. My experience has demonstrated that my sailors have met me more than halfway every single time. There are countless others that have supported us that could not be here today. You and many others are in our thoughts, especially those that are deployed, standing watch so that we can be here today. Some could not be here today because they only now live in our hearts and minds. Their time with us ended prematurely. Their memory continues to guide and mentor me, and they continue to be a part of who I am. In closing, it's been a wild ride, but I wouldn't change it for a thing. It goes without saying that I'm extremely proud of my two sons, who are now young men, Andrew and Connor. Always work hard, do your best, take care of those around you, and everything else will work its way out. And to MIDWAY, thank you, and I love you. The reception after this will be at the VFW. There'll be fun, great food, plenty of free beer, so please join us later at 1700. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commander Bear. Please make your way back to center stage. Captain Drinkwine, please join Commander Bear to present his certificate of retirement. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Commander Jonathan Reed Baer, having served faithfully and honorably was retired from the United States Navy on the first day of July 2024. Signed, Vice Admiral Rich Chesman, United States Navy, Chief of Naval Personnel. Thank you, Captain Drinkwine and Commander Bear. You may take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, Commander Bryce Loki will now read the watch.
Today, our Navy has given most the pomp and circumstance, the honors, traditions, and ceremonies back to history. Time does not give us the freedom to do all these things from the past, but we still have to stop all engines, lay about smartly, and drop anchor to pay homage to one of our shipmates going ashore. To honor the years served, the guidance, the leadership, the friendship, and the expertise that this shipmate has freely given these 26 years. For 26 years, this medical officer stood the watch. While some of us were in our racks at night, this radiation oncologist stood the watch. While some of us were in school, learning our trade, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this shipmate stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, this naval aviator stood the watch. Many times, he would cast an eye ashore and see his family standing there, needing guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during those hard times, but he still stood the watch. He stood watch for 26 years. He stood the watch that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in the safety each and every night, knowing that this commander of the Navy stood the watch. Today, we are here to say, shipmate, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have led, guided, and trained. Commander Bear, you stand relieved. We have the watch.
Thank you, Commander Loki. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and be covered. Father John Bosco will now deliver the benediction.
Years of sacrifice, devotion, and meritorious services to the Corps and to the nation. As you retire, like the sun in an unclouded evening from your military family, we wish you peace, tranquility, and success in your civilian life. Having finished the work assigned to you, from all of us, your friends and shipmates, we say, may fair fortune smile upon you and your family. May you enjoy the patronage of heaven in your future undertakings. And we commend you to the blessings of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Father John Bosco. In the late 1700s, the U.S. Navy set sail with new ideas, new goals, and a desire to build traditions that would last through the test of time. The U.S. Navy led the way with providing honors for crewmen. The 1800s saw enlisted men holding retirements for enlisted men for the first time. The captain would allow the jolly boat to take the enlisted retiree ashore. Then, after the Civil War, commanding officers began to hold enlisted retirement ceremonies to show the crew that he, and the Navy, recognized the immeasurable contributions of its enlisted sailors. And now, keeping with the 12 years of daily tradition, Commander Barrett will request permission to go ashore and Captain Winkler for the last time. Captain Winkler and Commander Barrett, center stage, please. Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. Shipmate going ashore.
Sir. What's that, Lord? What?
Sound 4 bells. Jonathan Reed Baird, Commander, United States Navy, retired, departed. Sound 4 bells. Jonathan Reed Baird, Commander, United States Navy, retired, and Navy family, departing. Family and friends, this concludes our ceremony. On behalf of the Father and the Lord, and his family, thanks for your love in this time of tradition. Dr. Barrett and family, and Dr. Virgin,
So how long are you here till? How long are you here till?
Yeah, I gotta use it.
You can ring the bell. Oh my God, I've just been trying to.
Yeah.
I gotta get some friends in town from Indiana, so I gotta get out of here. I gotta get some traffic.
I'll drive, but I don't think that's Jennifer. I joked, I texted you.
So we're still trying to find Was that good for me? Hi, how are you? Nice talking to you. And I think it's the microphones yeah. Oh,
Do you want to grab the car and then move?
I was going to tell people.
I don't think they're gonna like arrest us or something. It's fine if we're a little.
Because you got muscles?
Take the time and do what you gotta do.
Did you all get his parent at the end?
Say something. Say something. Say something.
John, congratulations. You know, you're a big reason this flag across the country. I am so happy.
Yeah, because they're like,
Hey, how are you doing?
Space Sword King. Congratulations, Dr. Bear. Is she Dr. Bear?
That must be a fun.
I just hear about your daughter's